Chazak Baruch, good morning. Welcome. This morning is a very special morning. This morning we want to wish a Mazal Tov to the Shvo family, as well to the Ben Yakar family. Sima Tov and Mazal Tov. Today we have a Pidyon Haben. Pidyon Haben. So let's explain what a Pidyon Haben is. Let's explain why, what, how. We're going to do this quite briefly, but it's a beautiful simcha. So again, Mazal Tov to Yogev and Orion Shvo on the Mazal Tov for their son Leo for the Pidyon Haben. So the Torah tells us that when God comes and brings the final plague on the Egyptians, He actually comes, and we know it to be Makat Bechorot, that all of the firstborns of the Egyptians all died. Right after that, and we actually read it every day, it's Kadesh li kol Bechor. God comes, He tells Moses, each and every one of the firstborns, which were spared from this plague of the death of the firstborn, are now mine, God says. And they're mine not in a bad way, in a way that their service is going to be the one which is needed to serve me, God says, on behalf of the Jewish people. So at that moment, they were selected specifically to God. There's actually no less than 9 times a commandment of anything that has to do with Hashem sanctifying the firstborns, as well as to redeem them, as we'll soon see. Later on, when the Jewish people sinned by the sin of the golden calf, the firstborns were supplemented by the tribe of Levi, and specifically the Kohanim and Leviim, which were the ones to do the avodah, the service, in the Beit HaMikdash, in the temple. Now, we have to ask ourselves, what's the reason for this mitzvah? Very good. So God comes and He takes the firstborn. So now what do we have to do? We have to come and we have to podeh. We have to redeem our firstborn from the Kohen, which is acting as an agent of God. Why? So the Sefer Chinuch gives a reason, and he says that we see this reoccurring theme, that every time there is something of a first, the first goes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The first fruit, the first animal from its womb, from the mother's womb, the first child, first son, which is obviously the most important. All of that all goes back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the reason for that is so that a person doesn't get caught up in their success, or even doesn't get caught up in their joy and think that Magia li, I deserve it. It's my strength, it's my wisdom, it's my brains, it's my good fortune, it's me. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu reminds us at the beginning of all of success, and that should be the tone set for the rest of a person's life, for the rest of the kids, for the rest of the fruit, for the rest of the animals, for the rest of anything. Set the proper tone that it's really from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we're acknowledging that. And that is why the Sefer Chinuch says that we redeem our firstborn son when we have one. So it's actually quite rare to have a Pidyon Haben. There's a couple situations which requirements that need to be fulfilled in order to have a Pidyon Haben. Firstly, both the father and mother should not be Kohanim or Leviim, or the children of Kohanim or Leviim. This Kadesh li kol Bechor was specifically on Israel. So therefore, because again, the Kohanim and Leviim are never redeemed from the service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They were now supplemented after the Chet HaEgel. So therefore, the father and mother both have to be not children of Kohanim and Leviim, and the child had to have been birthed in a natural way, no C-section. So it's quite rare. It also has to be the firstborn. It has to be also that there were no miscarriages prior to that. So all of that makes it quite rare and a beautiful mitzvah. Last thing we'll mention with regard to this mitzvah is that there is a minhag, a custom, to have a seudah, a festive meal, after the Pidyon Haben, or right after we do the Pidyon Haben. Now the reason for this is because obviously anytime we have a simcha, what do Jews know how to do best? Eat. Pull out some food and eat. So that's what we do. But there's also a very deep reason why we have a seudah. There are many sources that come and tell us that anyone who eats from a seudah, from the meal of the Pidyon Haben, it's as if they fasted 84 fasts, which is a lot. You know what it is, fast? How many times a year do we fast?
4.
5, 6? No, we do Yom Kippur, and then the 3, 6, 6 times a year we fast. So 84 fasts, that's a lot of fasts. Now, that's many years of fasting. So, what does 84 have? Where does the number 84 come into? Listen to something interesting. I recently learned this. Do you know how old, I guess you're going to know now, how old Yaakov Avinu was when he had his first son, Reuven? 84. Because he started working for Rachel, and then he swapped by Leah when he was 77. 7 years, he worked for 7 years. 7 years later, he's 84. Swapped, he was with Leah, and the first speck of seed that came from Yaakov Avinu was actually Reuven, 84. And Yaakov's whole reason why, you're asking how could such a holy man wait so long to have children, it was actually part of his spiritual cleansing to make up for Adam Harishon's unfortunate mess-ups. After he split from Chava, he unfortunately wasted a lot of seed, in other words, let's put it that way. So, to make up for that, Yaakov Avinu waited till 84, and now anytime we eat part of the meal of a Pidyon Haben, we are now tapping into the process of Teshuvah, the process of Kiddusha, and holiness and reverence and everything that has to do. So this morning, when we come and we join in the Seudat HaBoker, we should have in mind that we are fulfilling a tremendous mitzvah to be Misamech the Avi Haben and the mother of the baby and the family, and also that we're tapping into this tremendous power of Teshuvah and acknowledgement that everything that comes to us and everything that's showered our way, all the blessing and good, we all acknowledge HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, send much more blessing our way.